Yeah.
Seems like time's out of our control.
All right, we're doing birthday shout out to Erin, who's one of our amazing listeners. And today is her birthday. This is going to come out a couple weeks later, but we're giving a birthday shout out to Erin. And we're also giving a birthday shout out to a guest that's going to be on this podcast today.
Our very first guest.
Our very first guest, and we're very excited about it.
Mr. Jeffrey Shapper, my husband.
Woo! He is so excited. If you guys could see his face right now.
The look of shitty on his face. Come sit with us. Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Come right here.
Come on, birthday boy.
Come on.
He's got a lot to say. And he has an avenue to say it now outside of his Instagram.
That he keeps getting shadow banned on.
That it's probably going to be removed any day now.
Zuckerberg might take your voice away, but we're giving you a new one today.
We're giving you another. That should have been one of our, because we were trying to plead our case of why Jeff should be on our podcast. And we were listing all of these reasons. One of them should have been that we're just giving you another platform for your opinion.
Well, I'm going to pass over the mic. We don't have 3 mics, so we're going to have to share a little bit here.
We didn't plan on him actually saying yes.
Yeah, we expected him to say no, as he usually does, but somehow we've suckered him into it today. So with that, I give you Mr. Jeffrey Shapper.
For the record, I still haven't said yes.
You talking is you saying yes.
Well, I guess I'm here now.
I know. We're so excited. So we're going to jump right into it because we don't know how long we have Jeff for before he gives up.
About a minute and a half.
Joe Rogan, go.
What about him?
Okay, so it started with Neil Young, right? Neil Young was going to take his music off of Spotify if they kept Joe Rogan on because of him spreading COVID lies. Misinformation. Spotify said, yeah, people don't really listen to Neil Young. We're good. Compared to Joe Rogan, who's bringing in millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's a hack job. That's my opinion. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Is that so much? This is how you podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
We make out with the mic.
I'm podcasting more better now?
Yes.
Okay. You are a natural.
Yeah, so give us
your it's a work in progress.
Because I know you probably stayed up till 2 a.m. reading articles about it. So tell us what you've learned.
So the Neil Young thing obviously was another leftist, liberal celebrity trying to use his platform to cancel somebody that's going against the mainstream narrative.
Right. Because from my understanding, it's not like Joe Rogan was like saying that COVID's fake or anything like that, but he was having these doctors come on and say, here's kind of like behind the curtain, here's other options that we could do to help, not like cure, but like if you get it.
He exposes like a minority opinion.
Right.
For lack of a better term, like against the mainstream narrative, against, like what CNN wants you to believe, against what, the White House or the CDC is trying to preach. Joe Rogan brings a different point of view, a different opinion. And that's something that hasn't gone over too well with a lot of the mainstream. And now they're trying to cancel him. So at first it's Neil Young. And then they, like you said, Spotify realizes that it's more valuable to have Joe Rogan than it is to have Neil Young, because nobody really listens to the two of them. You know? You're either Joe Rogan fan or you're, old.
Well, and Neil Young, I don't think Neil Young is bringing in a whole bunch of revenue and for the music.
Is Neil Young the one that sings?
No, that's Bob Dylan.
See, Alyssa doesn't even know. Alyssa doesn't even know who Neil Young is. But is it an unpopular opinion? Because I am seeing more our friends or our age actually kind of sticking up for Joe Rogan. I mean, I guess not so much now that it's kind of turned into like a racial thing. But before, they were kind of like, yeah, I listened to him and he's not doing anything wrong.
I think that Joe Rogan is somebody that kind of appeals more to the right, but to both sides, to the left and the right. He's somebody that...
He's more of a moderate opinion. It's not like he's, he's not like this like extreme right that's like, it's fake and I'm going to storm the White House. But it's more of a, listen, I'm going to come at it at different angles with different opinions. We're just talking about our opinions because Spotify can't cancel us because we're not bringing in any revenue.
You're not cancelable.
We're not cancelable.
I didn't think Joe Rogan was cancelable. So,
but do you think he's going to be canceled? Because the CEO of Spotify came out and even said, like, listen, nothing's going to happen to him.
well, that's news to me. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. But ultimately, the Neil Young thing was like the first wave, the first attack against Joe Rogan. And they realized that didn't work because, again, Joe Rogan is more popular on Spotify, on these platforms than Neil Young was. And since that didn't work, I think that now they're just trying any which way they can to cancel the guy. So that's why they're coming up with all this race bullshit right now. But I mean, to show a video or an audio clip of somebody saying the N-word, it's like we literally have a president in the White House that's guilty of saying the same thing, whose son is guilty of saying the same thing. Like, let's be honest here. There ain't a single person on earth that hasn't said that word at least once. You know, so is that going to make you, is that grounds to cancel you? No. And what's really alarming about it, in my opinion, is that like, why are they so hell-bent on canceling the guy?
Yeah.
The information that he's given, if it was really just like irrelevant, erroneous information, nobody would care. But the fact that, you know, what he says does interest and like hold weight for so many people.
Right.
He's got a huger target on his back.
Well, that's why I'm like, you know, if we have these tinfoil hat theories, or if we start, you know, thinking or saying, if we start making up these stories, right? Like, no one's going to give a shit about what we say because we have 14 listeners. But you have Joe Rogan, who has millions of listeners, and now it's like
We have more than 14 listeners.
we
by the
do.
way.
We do.
You're going to have less after my opinion tonight.
I thought we were going to have more, but so yeah, the CEO of Spotify says that while he found the comments incredibly hurtful and inconsistent with the company values, he did not believe that silencing the podcaster was the answer.
Boom. So I'll just say that I think people are super fearful of Joe Rogan and the fact that he puts doctors on his podcast and gives them a platform to speak, because they're so scared of hearing anything different than what the CDC and Dr. Fauci have been saying all throughout this entire process, because they're just so pot committed to this way, and like the science, the doctors know and follow the science, trust the science. Like, clearly the science ain't shit. Okay. We've had vaccines, boosters. People are still getting COVID.
Jeff just drank my Diet Coke.
He thought it was mine. He loves to steal my drinks.
I just watched him like, okay. I don't care.
Anything that questions what they have put so much faith and belief into infuriates them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just like the fact that so many people voted for Biden versus Trump. It's because they just hated Trump so bad that they weren't even looking at the fact that, like, maybe this isn't a good idea, or like, let's really look into this a little bit. And now here we are, and he's the most hated president in a long time. I don't know the facts, but I know that's the truth. Okay. Yeah. And, you know, prices are through the roof. People are struggling. And
there were a lot of promises made, right? Like,
yeah,
it was the beginning of the pandemic, and everybody just wanted this to like end. And there were a lot of promises being made.
Yeah.
And
we're even going to eradicate COVID. Guess what? It's still here. We're losing Jeffrey. Well, anyway, we've rambled enough about this topic, and Jeff's already got ants in his pants, so we're going to let him go.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks for joining us. Can you shut that door? Are the dogs
And
inside?
you don't look any older from the last time I saw you.
I don't know. Count the dogs.
Yeah.
How many do we have? Whoa.
Yeah, they're all inside.
He got clotheslined by my laptop charger.
Bye, Jeff.
Bye. Fast as it came, it's gone.
Next time we'll have him be a part of putting the notes together and he'll be a part of it.
Yeah.
Or you could just sit in the background and do it like, commentary in the background.
Yeah, that's true. Or next time we just won't ask him to do it at 9:30 at night when he's completely fried.
That's true.
He put a little finger up. That was key. That was key. He already has the attention span of an ant. So
we knew.
But thank you so much, Jeffrey, for your little input. And we were just happy to have your lovely velvet voice on our podcast.
Yeah, it was so soothing. So I came into the house to record, and you are cooking up a storm.
Yes. Out of desperation, because I have so many unnecessary groceries in my refrigerator from HelloFresh that I need to eat. And no, this is not an ad. Most podcasts you listen to, HelloFresh, 16 free meals right now, limited edition. So we're talking the opposite. We're talking the truth of HelloFresh.
Yeah,
right?
because I did not have a good experience with HelloFresh. So I want to hear your spiel about it, and then I'll probably agree with you because I feel like you're not having a good experience with it.
So I have done
and they will never be an ad now.
Yeah, never. They will never ever want to be a sponsor of this podcast. So I've done HelloFresh a couple of times. I'm a little cheapy. So I sign up, I go through the free meal period,
Create an email.
I create an email.
Send it to another address.
Exactly. So I've done that a few times. And now that I've moved, I was like, hey, I could try this out again. 16 free meals. I want a part of that. And like I said on my Instagram story the other day, it's just so frustrating because I don't know who is managing the portion control at HelloFresh, but you're not giving enough food. Okay. For 2 adults, you send me like these little chicken cutlets and expect me to eat one of them for dinner. Like, either you think I'm anorexic or you think I'm fat and I need to lose weight, because this is not enough food. I ate the entire meal meant for 2 people for dinner in one sitting.
Well, I think that HelloFresh does the portions like they're actually supposed to be, but we are gluttonous people as Americans. So that is not.
So it's like a European portion?
Well, I think like everywhere outside of the US, like that's like kind of like a normal portion, but we go way beyond that. So we're not used to eating that little amount.
Yeah, it was not okay.
And there's no appetizers, there's no dessert. It's just the meal.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But I will say that their recipes are pretty good. And, you get to salt and pepper yourself. So if you want a little bit more spice, or if you prefer to use a certain seasoning that didn't come in the packet or the little baggie that they send you, you have the option to do that because you're at your home. You're in the comfort of your own home. So, so that's always cool.
No, the recipes were good. I even was telling you, like, I keep some of the recipe cards that I thought were good. I have remade some recipes outside of the HelloFresh box. Here was my issues with them. A lot of times the vegetables would come and they were either almost rotting. They were they were just not good quality. The tomatoes were mushy. The onions were like starting to get cut. And it's not like I would leave my box sitting out. I would bring it in right away, and I would literally like open the bag and see that it just wasn't good.
They're just sending you shitty stuff. I had a maggot in a piece of ginger one time.
See?
Yeah, but you were telling me that if you call and complain, they like give you money off, or they send you
or
shit.
they'll send you a free
I've never
box.
once complained.
Oh, I complained because I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Especially because at that point I was like outside of like my free meal thing. So I was paying full price.
Right.
And I had the portion control because I was feeding 2 people, and you're not going to feed Jeff this like small amount of food.
No, absolutely not. He needs one of those entire meals to himself.
Right. And so the portion control thing was definitely a thing. And just the quality of the food that was coming, I was just not about it. And I love cooking. I thought everything was very step by step. And I would even go off the recipe a little bit and maybe, change some things. It taught me how to like pickle onions, caramelize onions. You learned how to do today.
Yeah, I failed a little bit, but yeah. I relearned today.
But I at least one meal out of every box had bad vegetables in it.
Yeah. HelloFresh, you got to do better.
Yeah.
Okay?
So now I just do prepared meals that I microwave, and they've been delicious.
So one thing I wanted to talk about on here, did you see that Nick Cannon is now announcing baby number 8? Like literally a couple weeks after he announced the death of
with another baby mama.
Yes.
He said he wants to have as many kids as he financially can. But that's how do you know you're going to financially take it? Like, how do you know you're not going to lose everything next year?
He's so insane.
I mean, I know he has
that many kids.
1, who needs that many kids? 2, I know he has his hands in a lot of things. Like he actually has a pretty high like net worth.
Yeah.
And he has a production company. He has restaurants. He has all this crazy stuff. But I don't know why you would have like that many kids.
So he has 2 sets of twins in there. So that helps like
bump up that number.
Yes. And he also talked in an article about how he was actually celibate for a period of time because he like refuses to use protection, and he's just like all set about
obviously
spreading his seed throughout the world.
Well, because it's like all these different women. I don't know. I would kind of feel like, am I just like another baby mama? Because you just are so narcissist that you want that many kids.
So apparently Alyssa Scott, the mother of his late son Zen, who had brain cancer, was like really upset because, you know, she's still mourning. He's still in theory mourning. And now he's all excited and throwing this crazy baby gender reveal with all these people, making a huge public announcement of it. So he did put out an apology announcement to her.
At first, I thought it was the same girl. I'm like, wow, she got pregnant really fast, but it's actually somebody else.
Yeah, which is so crazy. I mean, Nick said it may have seemed like he was making comparisons between his late son Zen and the child he's expected. He said they are completely separate moments in my life and they both deserve respect. And Cannon added that he failed to protect and respect the privacy of the mothers of all of his children. His new child on the way is with his current girlfriend, Bree TSD. The two will soon welcome a new baby boy.
I mean, and they have not been together long if he just had like that relationship with a previous.
Zen was like, what, 7 months old or 8 months old? This article doesn't say, but yeah, it's just so insane. I literally get it together.
Well, and then they're like, that was supposed to be a private moment. You literally threw a giant gender reveal party with a whole bunch of celebrities. And you're going to tell me that outside, and you're going to tell me it was a private moment?
Yeah, there was nothing private about that. You were trying to be loud and public about it. And you're like proud of the fact that you have a bazillion kids. So I just pray to God that you have enough time for all of them, because at the end of the day, it's not just about being financially like stable and taking care of them.
Involved.
Exactly. Having a relationship with them, being involved with them. How are you supposed to do that when you're constantly working and doing 10 million things, and you also have 10 million kids to try to, you'll never have one-on-one time with your kids.
Well, and they're not with one person, right? It's not like all of the kids. Yeah, it's not like all of the kids have one mother and you're coming home, and so yes, you're working crazy hours, you're doing all this stuff, but you're coming home to one house,
right,
with all of those kids.
Oh, they're spread all over.
It's very
opposite.
Wasn't
Mariah Carey the first?
Yeah,
and they were actually married.
They were married.
Okay,
which still don't get that one.
Apparently he was like obsessed with her. That was like his like total woman crush all of his life, and he got the girl and he impregnated her, and then I guess her crazy came out to play a little bit.
He needs to use some hot sauce.
Yes, he does, honey. Okay, the girls need to be hot sauce in him, because he's trying to spread it all around.
It's just it blows my mind.
You know what else blows my mind? Adele canceling her Vegas residency. Have you seen about?
Yes.
You heard about this?
That would have been one of the residencies that I would have like made a trip to go see.
Yeah, you're obsessed with her.
Obsessed.
So let's put ourselves in the minds of the people. She canceled her residency like the day before her first concert.
Yeah.
Okay. People had bought tickets. People had planned trips, booked flights, hotels. Some of these tickets were up to $30,000. I read it could have been like a fake article, but yeah, that's what it said. Like some of these tickets were absolutely insane.
That better be like a meet and greet, and she'll make out with me.
I'm sure it is. You know, little COVID spreader,
tongue action,
exactly.
Everything.
And then her excuse. was because she said that her whole team came down with COVID. But if you're like a legitimate performer and you respect the fact that people just spend all this time and money and they're expecting to see you, you're going to find a new crew. Like, she's fucking Adele. She could just stand up there and sing the whole time. She doesn't even need to do anything crazy.
No, she doesn't.
And people would have been okay with it.
I saw Adele in concert years ago, and she is one of the very few artists who sounds even better live than she does on the album, which is really hard to do.
Yeah.
And I had shitty seats. I couldn't even, we were literally at the BB&T Center against the wall.
I didn't know your love was so strong.
All the way to the top. I was crying at the concert. I went with my friend Brittany, and we were crying. We were literally up against the wall. She won. This is how early on in Adele's career, she won tickets on the radio. Like, who gives away Adele tickets on the radio?
Yeah.
So
just being in her presence.
Just being in her presence all the way at the top was absolutely amazing. But yeah, so it was like her whole crew, but then she also said there was like delays in shipping and things that for the set and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I could see maybe like postponing it.
Right.
But did you hear the controversy of the rumors of what was the real reason?
No.
Which she's denied it. But there were other speculations that was actually because she was having problems with her boyfriend. Now, I don't know if I necessarily believe that, because I would hope that Adele would be more professional than that.
Are you kidding me?
But years ago, when she finished her last album, she was like, this is going to be my last and I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And her record label like literally publicly came out and said, yeah, no, that's not true. She's in a contract and she's going to be coming out with another album. So she's done this before.
Yeah. Is she just over it? But why would you sign up? Why would you like that? Doing a Vegas residency definitely was not part of her album contracts. Like album contracts are a certain amount of albums and a lot
concerts.
Of right. And a lot of performers have that. But a Vegas residency is something totally different. Totally different. I think that there were too many hiccups, and maybe she has some like, mental health issues or, some self-confidence issues, and maybe like the pressure of everything going wrong just kind of like made her like, I'm
freak
done.
out.
Yeah, she freaked out.
Did you watch the special?
No. I know. We talked about this.
We did.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it.
It was so good.
Yeah, I should.
It was so good. And her interview with Oprah was, as much as like Oprah really annoys me, she's actually a really good interviewer.
Yeah.
And she did talk about that. She did talk about like the struggles, like she went through a divorce, her body issues.
Yeah.
She was shamed for being overweight. She was shamed when she lost the weight. So
she couldn't win.
She couldn't win.
That's just how it is to be in the public eye.
It was crazy to be like the day before we're cutting everything.
So crazy, and it's a perfect segue to talk about, you never really know what's going on with people, and they can just freak out at the last minute, like Miss America.
That was,
what was her name? Do you have her name?
Yes, she was also like an E correspondent. Or was it E or Extra or something like that?
Yeah, she did a bunch of stuff. So Chelsea Christ. Yes. So as most of you know, Chelsea Christ took her life in Manhattan. She jumped off her balcony in her apartment building.
She posted on Instagram before. And she left a letter to her mom.
Yeah, for all of her belongings. This girl was absolutely gorgeous. She was only 30 years old. She was intelligent. She was a philanthropist. She worked as a host and interviewer for celebrities on the red carpet. And I forget what E! News or whatever the hell she was on. But anyway, she was very accomplished in life at a young age.
Yeah, she was. And apparently, like, people were talking about how like amazing she was and personable. It's almost kind of like a Robin Williams, right?
Yeah.
Like where everything kind of just seems so funny and perfect on the outside, but you have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, you just have no clue.
Yeah, she was Emmy nominated for her correspondent for Extra.
Extra, that's what it was.
She had her MBA, and she had posted literally right before, like hours before, on Instagram, "May this day bring you rest and peace."
So horrible.
It just like, it gave me the chills.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, we just kind of talk about it to bring attention to suicide and mental health struggles, because so many people, like, they're just so stressed out that they just don't know where to go anymore. They're so depressed, they don't know what to do anymore, and they just want to turn it all off,
And the last 2 years have not helped that.
Right. It's been really tough. I mean, addiction struggles, alcoholism is through the roof. We're up 25% in regular drinkers using more.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, because of the depression, because of not having a job, or, because of inflation, because they can't buy a house and they really need to, because they don't know where to live. Like, there's just so many effed up things going on.
Added pressure.
Yes. So it's a really tough time to be alive, So if you have somebody that struggles a lot, just hug them, check in on them, see how they're doing. Just be aware of how people are doing. Like, don't just blanket statement ask your friends and your loved ones how they're doing. Like, really get in there, That's why they're your loved ones.
Yeah. And if anybody is struggling, please, please, please reach out, because I think we're lucky that we have a foundation.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people have that. And I think that we have a really good support system as well. And so if we can offer that to anybody, and we also have this outlet to be funny.
Yeah. Always happy to help. Ask us questions. We will happily answer them for ya. We haven't done that in a while, actually. We remember we were doing that at the beginning.
So it's really funny you said that, because I was kind of thinking of like fun ideas that we could do. And I want to do like an advice.
Yeah. Bring it back.
I want to bring back the advice segment, because I think we had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
And I want topics that maybe you and I have different opinions on.
It's hard to find them.
I know.
We're like, yeah, oh my God, me too.
I'll lie.
Like, this isn't causing a debate. Let's debate here a little bit.
Yeah. I'll lie and try to be against you. Did you watch The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window?
No, I refuse to, because of how long the name is. Now, can you actually name that name without reading it on the paper?
No. The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. No, but I watched it.
Was it good?
So, did you watch Dead to Me?
Yes.
Okay. I was actually really excited about the show. And the first two, because I watched... Aside from the name. But I knew it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. I watched the first 2 episodes, and then I had to leave. And I'm like, this is kind of giving Dead to Me vibes, where it's there's a lot of serious topics, but it's funny.
Yeah.
And it's a dark humor. I can appreciate it. Kept watching it, and I got more and more confused. And I was angry by the end of it.
So we're not a fan.
I might watch it again to see if maybe I just missed something.
So you finished it.
Yeah.
And it left you confused and frustrated?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a fun time.
So it's supposed to be kind of like satirical, I guess, if that's the right word. And based off like a book and a story that's actually like has been written. Mm-hmm. I think it's called like The Girl in the Window or something like that. So Kristen Bell is the main character.
Right.
And
When's the last time she did anything?
The Good Place.
I don't know what that is.
The Good Place was actually a really good show.
Okay.
And so I'm going to spoiler alert. So she's very depressed, and she's like, her daughter passed away. And in the beginning, you don't know how her child passed away. You don't know why her husband left her. You don't know why her child passed away. All you know is that she sits in her window every day and drinks bottles of wine a day and takes it with her pills. And so like in the first or second episode, you see her therapist calls, and he goes, have you cut down on your drinking? And she's like, yep. And she's pouring literally a whole bottle of wine into a glass. And you're not drinking with your pills either, right? Because you know that causes the hallucinations. And she's like, nope, I'm not doing that. She then thinks that she witnesses, quote unquote, a murder happen in her neighbor's house, which she's actually attracted to her neighbor who has a girlfriend who's a flight attendant. And she sees the girl get murdered.
Well, she hallucinates the girl getting murdered.
Well, so the cops.
That's the whole thing.
That's what
you don't
think,
know
right?
whether it's real or fake.
And the cops come and they're like, nothing happened. The guy has no idea, but she's like convinced. And then she's like, okay, maybe I'm hallucinating it. But then she can't come off of it. And so all of these crazy things are happening, but you don't know if it's a hallucination or if it's real. And it never actually clarifies what's hallucination and what's real.
Because they probably want to have a second season.
Oh, they definitely ended it with a second season.
Like a cliffhanger.
Yeah. There were funny moments.
What's with all the satires recently?
Yeah,
I'm not here for it.
Really? So I love a good satire and dark humor, but it was just, I need some clear definition.
Yeah.
Or at least finish it's like guaranteed that there's going to be a second season in the next 15 minutes. But if I have to sit and wait for it, I'm probably going to lose interest.
So there was one show I watched. I think it was Penny Dreadful with Josh Hartnett.
I have no idea.
You know who Josh Hartnett is, right?
Yes.
Teenage Dreamboat with the mole on his neck. Never forgot he had a mole on his neck. So he was in the show Penny Dreadful. I think it was on HBO.
That's a really specific thing.
I have a thing about like moles and birthmarks and stuff like that. Did you not know this about me?
Did Ryan Johnson have a mole?
No. Probably why I liked them so much. But it's not that I like I mean, I don't like moles. I don't love them. I don't think anybody loves them. You got a big old mole on your face. I'm probably not
Cindy
gonna
Crawford?
like want to make out with you. But like I'll
let Jeff know, and he doesn't have to worry about any man with a mole.
He's well aware of my mole thing. He's like, why are you so weird? But like I'll recognize where they are on people, and I'll like memorize where they are on people. So like I know where they are.
I don't think I have
freckles, you know, like even freckles and stuff. Like you have a couple on your neck. Anyway,
you'll be able to identify me if I ever found murder.
I know that freckle. I know who this is, even if her face is burned off. Okay,
which we know that you'll love me anyway.
Yeah, I'll love you anyway. Everybody loves me. I really don't know where that just came from. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Josh Hartnett.
Oh yes. So I watched that entire show, like the first season. I never understood what was going on. So I don't know if anybody listening knows anything about the Penny Dreadful show, but it's like got witches and it's spooky and it's scary. And it was an HBO show. So like it should have been a good show. I literally watched an entire season and never knew what the fuck was going on. And I just kept moving forward. I was like, all right, this is when they're going to explain something. This is when it's all going to click for me. Maybe this episode. No, this episode.
I felt that way. I felt that way with this one.
Yeah, I'm all set.
Okay, speaking of HBO, because I did notice there was a new profile on my HBO account.
Ooh, what? There was?
Did you watch that? I go into my HBO and I see Jen and Felicia.
Well, because I felt bad because I knew you were watching Sex and the City also, and I was like, I don't want to screw up where she's at versus where I'm at.
I'm
finished. Make myself a quick
Did you watch
profile.
it?
I didn't finish yet. I saw Harry's dingling, and I was like, okay, I need a break.
Okay, what do you think about it?
So, like you said, very woke, really fucking annoying. But then as time goes on, they stop making it so much about the wokeness, like they've already addressed it, and then it just kind of like grooves into their old story Sex and the City vibes. And honestly, the actors in it they're just great actors in general.
Yeah.
So I think that they really help tell the story, even if the story is shitty itself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like nostalgic. So like you want to know like what's going on with them. And like, you know,
I was just getting annoyed at, did you get to the part of the drinking yet? If Miranda has a drinking problem, and is it over? I don't remember if by the time the dingling.
I don't know. I mean, she's like trying to cut back at this point.
It's just
she realizes that she bought the book for herself when she was blackout drunk.
Yeah, but then they just stop addressing it. So it's like this huge thing for like 2 episodes, and then it just like falls off.
Well, they got to move on to Harry's dick and cancer. There's many other important topics to cover, and also I think they're just focusing on. I think they were focusing on the booze more so to like correlate it with Miranda not being happy with her life, and that's why she was drinking so much. And then once she really like discovered who she was, her happiness by hooking up with Che, I think that really
most hated character on TV right now.
I think that the focus kind of shifted on that. So like the drinking was just a blip in the story. It wasn't that she actually was an alcoholic. She was just severely depressed and unhappy with her life, and now she's made changes, so she's happier. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just remembering the show, how it was and how Miranda was, like,
I really don't remember the show a whole lot.
see, this is why it's not upsetting you as much as it like is upsetting me.
A lot of people are over it. They don't like it.
No, because look at Miranda's character. Like, if you remember in the original Sex and the City, she was career driven. Like, she almost had an abortion with Brady.
Yeah.
Like, that was a whole thing. And she kept Brady, and she was so angry at Steve when Steve cheated. And she was all about her career, and literally every decision and aspect of this character now is completely opposite of who she actually was. And I get people change, but it was literally every aspect. And I don't want to spoil the end for you, which is why I'm saying like choosing career over, like she was just so career driven. You see how that
shifts
is non-existent.
Yeah.
And the way that they've addressed like the Samantha thing is kind of weird.
Well, I kind of imagine that the writers of this aren't the original writers of the show. So, of course, it's going to be slightly different. And I'm sure that nobody's going to remember all the specific details. Clearly, you were just a Sex and the City freak.
But if you're going to watch it, you're going to remember. But each character was like so different, and that's why they worked so well.
Yeah. Is it actually over right now?
Yes. So
Okay.
I watched the last episode and I watched the documentary on it. The only reason why I watched the documentary on it, because they go into like all the fashion, which was really interesting. Like Sarah Jessica Parker literally kept all of these clothes archived.
Wow.
And they were bringing them out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And she got mad because she couldn't wear this one hat.
Great fashion on the show.
Amazing.
So let's talk about something that happened today, since it'll be the most current thing on this podcast. Kylie Jenner had her second baby.
I know.
I can't wait to see. It's a boy. We do know it's a boy, but they did a surprise. They didn't know what they were having.
Yeah. I saw something on Instagram or something, but he was born on 2/22/22, and they were like, that is the most Kris Jenner thing. And there was just like if you watch the Kardashian like very early on, do you remember when Bruce had the gun?
Yes.
There was like Kris Jenner waving the gun, and it was like with the caption like Kris Jenner at the doctor making sure that the baby was born on 2/22/22.
Well, I'm excited to see pics, to see what weird name they choose this time. What do you think they're going to name it? If the girl is Stormy, what's the boy?
Do we think it's going to be weather related?
I mean, it might. I'm
Thunder?
going with NATO.
NATO.
Like tornado.
Okay. Or thunder.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know,
Lightning.
Lightning. Are you going to watch when they come out with their
Partly
Hulu?
cloudy with the chance of rain.
Oh, I was going to say meatballs.
Oh.
Are you going to watch when it's on Hulu?
What? Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen a lot of episodes. I was like a really, really big fan of the show back in the day. I think I probably will, just because I didn't watch like the past 10 seasons, let's say. I think it would be nice to like do it from beginning to end and have like another trash show for me to watch by myself when Jeff's not here, so he can't complain that I'm like going too far ahead in the shows that we're watching together, because he has no interest. Yeah, girls need filler.
That's like my Real Housewives for me right now. It's my filler. I hadn't watched it either, and then probably like 2 or 3 months ago, I started watching from when I left off, and I binged it. And it's so insane. Did you see Khloe Kardashian, like the whole drama with her hand?
Yeah, she looked like a damn Skeletor. Sorry, I was counting.
She has
for the
really
next piece.
She has really long fingers.
Well, long fingers. Then she's got the long ass nails. And I think that, that picture was really scary. I don't know if I was looking at something that somebody exaggerated, but it literally looked like a bone hand. I'm very concerned. Courtney? Or who are we talking about?
Khloe.
Khloe, if you're listening.
And we know that you are.
We know you are. We're worried about you, girl. We're here for you. We know how to fatten you up. Let's get you some food.
I don't even know if I'm concerned. I was actually more upset about how everybody was like attacking her. Listen, they were ugly. They didn't look great. But people are mean.
Well, that's my point. I feel really bad. At the end of the day, like, I know these people, like, they bring things upon themselves. But I would literally jump off a bridge from some of the things that I see that they talk about.
Yes.
They say about these people. Like, it's horrible. People just stop. Be nice.
And then Kanye coming after Kim now.
Oh my gosh. So extra.
Can I just say that my therapist commented on Kanye West
You
post?
saw it? That's amazing.
Yeah, and she's like, as a professional, like co-parenting. And I was like, go girl.
Preach. Teach them, because somebody is not teaching
And I read it in her calming voice. And I was like, Kanye should see my therapist.
So for those of you that don't know, and we're not going to read anything because we're lazy. So obviously Kim and Kanye are getting divorced. We've talked about that before. Kanye is ripping Kim to shreds right now because he's mad that Kim is allowing North to be on TikTok, even though she's claiming that she like monitors
Wearing
everything.
makeup.
It's like a shared TikTok. And Kim's pissed about him even having anything to comment about because he's going to the public instead of like just having these conversations.
Oh, he's airing out all the dirty laundry, whether it's true or not.
Oh, he's
airing it all out.
He's going full blown crazy pants. And honestly, we're not here for it. So get it together, people. So there was something else on here. Oh, have you taken a peek at our statistics for the podcast?
So I was going to, and then you said you wanted to talk about it, and now I want to be surprised.
Okay. So I'm glad you didn't check it out, and we won't get into all of the details. But what I thought was really cool is there's a map here to tell us where our audience comes from. I want you to guess how many states we have listeners in.
3.
15.
What?
Yes.
Because I guess I just assumed Florida, California for my people, and New York or New Jersey for your people.
So Florida's definitely number 1. But then we have Virginia. Then we have California. Then Pennsylvania, New York, Illinois, New Jersey. Wow. My family really needs to step it up. I have 6,000 family members and none of y'all bitches are listening. And I'm going to bring it up at the next
Wait,
Christmas.
who's in Virginia?
My sister-in-law.
Oh, yeah, I love her.
Yeah. And maybe some of her friends. I don't know, because she's definitely listened to more, like there's more listens than episodes. So, then we have North Carolina, New Hampshire, Colorado, Massachusetts, Alaska, Michigan, Wisconsin, Connecticut, Maryland, Oregon, and then we have like 99 unknown downloads.
So I feel like I know who are in all these areas, and I'm so
Who
excited.
the fuck is in Wisconsin?
I don't know anybody in Wisconsin.
Do one of us have a stalker who lives in Wisconsin?
Hit us up if you're from Wisconsin.
What's up, Wisconsin? So anyway, I just thought that was really cool. And I thought it was a good moment to reflect because this is our 15th episode. And I'm just really excited to see that the word is getting out there.
I
We're
know.
hitting all the states.
I know. So I had family in town this weekend, and it was my aunt. And so now I'm going to call her out because maybe now she'll listen. But she's like, well, I listened to the first episode, but now I don't know how to listen to it.
You just got to like set it up for her. It's fine.
What do you mean?
I know. I mean, my own sister doesn't listen. I know she doesn't. And a bunch of our friends don't listen too. Because I purposely, like I was with Rachel this weekend, I purposely kept bringing up things on the podcast, but not saying that they were on the podcast, and then watching her go, really?
I know Rachel does it. I know Megan does it.
Yep.
We're calling bitches out by name.
We calling you out. Okay?
By name.
Do better.
I love when I get text from my friend Melissa. Every time she listens, she texts.
I think Sasha's typing on our Google Docs because I just see a line.
She is. She is. Melissa texts me every time she listens, like, and she'll just be like, while she's listening, she's texting me her reactions. My cousin, Erin, same thing. Text me reactions. And I love that. And I don't get that from anybody else.
Well, I just think it's so cool that there's
Linda texts me too every time she listens to it.
There are people that we don't even realize that we've made an impact or that they're listening to us. And it's like, it's just out there. So it just goes to show you we can't talk a lot of shit because the person we're talking about might be listening. We don't know. Okay.
Well, we might have to do a Ryan Johnson.
So I think the time has come to get a little Ryan Johnson in. What do you think?
Let's do it. Let's end it.
Where is it?
Let's end it on a poetry.
Okay. Is it still in the box? I thought it was taken out. There's a list here of a lot of guys I loved at the same time. If this isn't boy crazy, I don't know what is.
You were the definition of boy crazy. If the story and poem didn't solidify it, all the names written in the back.
I'm just reading this because it's amazing. It literally says, I love Matt, Martin, John, Phil, Dan, Jake, Tiago, Brian, Paulo, Dave, Zach, Michael, Russell, Ellie, Eric.
Was Ryan even on there?
Yeah, he was on there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So where are my poems? Where are my poems? This is the Getting Over Him plan.
Your retainer.
Here,
Where
I got
your
one.
Retainer.
This one's called Wish. Genesis, do the honors.
I would be honored.
Original poetry by Alyssa Valentin.
Wish. This is a letter sealed with a kiss. All that it holds is but just one wish. Your touch makes me tingle. Your smell makes me sing. You make me feel like an angel with wings. It doesn't matter anyway, for we will never be. Oh, no. Oh, no.
What?
Okay, hold on. Sorry. It doesn't matter anyway, for it will never be. I am ugly, and you're my wish to be.
Oh, damn.
My wish, just one wish. To Ryan, from someone who cares deeply. I had to stop because I read this, I'm ugly, and I want to hug this girl. This little girl.
Oh, poor little Felicia.
Were you not wearing your retainer?
I guess not. It may have been before the braces.
Oh my God. Alyssa, I'm so happy that you've grown from this. Have you grown from this?
I've grown from this.
Oh, God, we left it on such a sad note. I don't think there's anything uplifting in there. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, there was one part that was real depressing and angsty, so I moved on past it. But, that was a poem. There's another story here. I think this is about the first time I actually made out with a guy. It's very short.
Very short.
It's like a page and a half. Yeah, the day he saw me looking. The day. It was called The Day. Yeah, I don't know. The end. It's literally 2 pages long. We'll read it next time.
Yeah, that'll be for next time. We're going to end it on that. You have since evolved with a lot of life lessons and therapy, and now you don't ever have to worry about those feelings.
Yeah, well, now Ryan's touch doesn't make me tingle. The podcast makes me tingle. So thank you for that. Oh, I found more.
We're gonna hold on to this.
I'm gonna leave this open and put a little marker on here so we can find. Like, it's not a big notebook, but for some weird reason, we always
get lost in it.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 poems.
Oh, I can't wait.
4 more poems. So
I can't wait. Well, that's all for this week. Please be sure to tune in every other Friday for a new episode of Lower Your Voice, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Lower Your Voice Pod.
Make sure you're subscribing for notifications of new episodes, and please don't forget to leave us a review.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
We gonna take